Welcome back to the Conway Regional Health System pregame show. I'm Jeff Matthews. I am joined by the voices of the Wampus Cats. It's Levi Gilbert and it's Tim Roach. And guys, welcome to year 25 of Wampus Cat football. Very excited about it. Glad to have you guys on board, of course, once again this year. And it's a big year because not only are we celebrating 25 years, but also very honored this summer to win a Telly Award. And I wanted to just spend some time with you guys. You're the faces that everyone sees the most, but man, we got a talented crew of people. And Levi, I want to give you the floor first. You've kind of taken on a co-producer role in addition to being our play-by-play guy, but and you and Justin King have spent a lot of hours making this look like it looks. And I just want to thank you for that and congratulations on the win.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to be recognized for the work that all of us have done. I mean, yeah, Justin and I kind of head up a lot of it on the front end, but then once you get to Friday nights, it takes so many people to make it all work and to make this polished output that we get to do every Friday and telling the story of the season. So big props to everybody that is involved because it takes all of us to do it. You and your role, I mean, you've been here for all 25 years. Your role is a little different now than it was for the first almost 20 years of it, but it takes all of us to make it happen. And so it's been a nice summer to just reflect on that a little bit and try and think of, well, what can we do next? How can we make this 25th year special?
As a
Now,
Wamp-
Tim, I know that. No, go ahead. I was going
yeah,
to
I
say
was
you.
gonna say, as a Wampus Cat fan, let me tell you,
Yeah.
years having watched it and depended upon it for my Wampus Cat fix, so to speak. It's still the same thing. It's still, you're right, it's still covering high school kids playing football and all the things that go along with it. But keeping up with the technology and advancing things year after year after year, if you look back at the first year to now, just from a technology perspective and the way that you guys have invested in this process for the community, for the school, for the kids, has been remarkable. I'm just thrilled to be a part of it.
Well, I'm glad you guys are in the roles that you're in. It's allowed me to do some different things, and I'm very, very pleased with the crew that we've got. So thank you both to Justin and the entire crew. When you see their names in the credits, don't just let them run past you. If you see one of our folks in their Five Sports crew shirts on a Friday night, be sure and tell them congratulations because Levi, you're right. It did take everybody. So into year number 25 now, and change. There's change involved. We have a little bit of change in our crew, not a whole lot, but boy, there's a lot of change when it comes to the Wampus Cats on both sides of the ball and in the coaching rooms. Levi, if you'll take the offensive side and the changes that are in place there.
Yeah, it's funny, you think about Coach Buck James came in, this is his third year. So when he came in 3 years ago, how big of a change that felt. But in many ways, this has been way more change this year than even that was because Tim will talk about on the defensive side, almost all new coaches except one. Offensively, change there as well. You got Mark Kelly over at Sylvan Hills now doing his thing there. Ryan Howard takes over as OC, which he was here last year. He was coaching the quarterback, so not a huge change in terms of having a brand new face. But and when you watch this offense out there, it's gonna look pretty similar. The tempo is gonna be kind of what it's been the last 5 years. The play style is gonna be very familiar. But it's all new for these players. They're picking it all up here in the summer. And when there's a new guy in charge, different philosophies, it's hard work to make that happen, even if it was somebody who was your quarterback coach a year ago. But Coach Howard obviously has a connection to Conway. He was a UCA Bear and did some coaching there in his grad time. And we're just excited to have him in the role. I know he loves Conway. His family's here. And he built his family here, is how I should say it. He's from Alabama, but I'm excited for this offense. I think the offense is going to be what carries us for a little while. So it's nice that there's not a lot of change in personnel on the field on that side of the ball. A lot of familiar faces for you this year. But yeah, it's even still, it's been a change for them.
Trent Ellis takes over as a defensive coordinator from Marion. We get him from Marion this year. He brings a lot of energy to this defense. And so when you watch them in practice, and I've got a chance to see quite a bit there, they are active. They keep after them. It's a whole different set of energy, a whole lot of new players. Starters wise, we're looking at somewhere around maybe eight, replacing eight starters. And so Good news is up front defensively in the line, we've got some guys that we've depended upon last year. Guys like Major James is going to play both sides of the ball, but you've got Joe Washington, Caleb Kern, Cam Sims, those guys, all Juju. You've got guys that really played a lot of time there in key moments in the games. So that feels good. Linebackers, Trayvon Logan is the only guy back, and the secondary is completely replaced in terms of starters. So a lot of growth. He talked about it, Levi did, about, really kind of moving forward with this team and trying to get the next game as the next step up, the next player that you've identified who can actually do the job. So the players and coaches alike on the defensive side, they're going to grow throughout the year, but it has been a lot of change.
And with change, you've always got to have patience. I think they really go hand in hand, whether it's change in a diet or whether it's a change in a job situation, whatever it is. With the changes that you're talking about, do Wampus Cat fans need to be patient? Patient, I assume they will.
Yeah, anyone I've talked to so far before this week, it's hey, how are they going to be? Are they going to be good? Basically what they're saying is like, are they going to be as good as last year? Is kind of the vibe I get from them, and I don't really know how to answer that question yet. I think we're not going to know until we get to like week 7, week 8, week 9 on if they're going to be as good or even better than they were last year. It's going to be a slower start, I think, for fans. So, if they look a little slow coming out of the gates here in these first 3 weeks, just have some patience, because I think more than any of the previous 2 years under Buck James, I think this team is going to be way better at the end of the year than it was at the start of the year. And that's not really how it's been the last 2 years, unfortunately. And so people have come out of the gate strong, feeling good about this team, and then things just kind of they lose the spirit towards the end of the year. I think we could see the complete flip of that, but it's going to take a lot of growth here in these early few weeks of finding the right people, especially on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to take time, but man, I think this group is going to look a lot more feisty at the end of the year than they do here at the start.
Tim, let's talk about tonight's opponent. It all begins with Jonesboro. It's a team that we know really well. We play them practically every year, it seems like, and have for a while. They've got a little momentum coming in off their benefit victory over Pulaski Academy. What can we look for Jonesboro tonight?
Well, I think somewhat it is about us as well, right? We have to make sure that we don't treat this game any different than we would do anyone else.
Yeah.
Trap setup again, Bentonville next week. People like you and I will talk about Bentonville more than we talk about anybody else, and so it's a focus for our team. But Jonesboro brings a very seasoned quarterback and running back. Now they've got some spots that they've had to fill on the offensive line. They've moved some guys around from the wide receiver perspective, but Asa Myers can really throw the ball, and TJ Brown is a very, very good back. He opened up their scoring last year against us with about a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. So this guy's really, really elite. He's very, very, very good, and so we'll have to tackle well. And I think from a defensive perspective, against us, they're good up front. They're solid. They're not huge like they have been in the past, but they're very active. Their defensive backs fly to the ball. And so they could cause some problems. They gave us some problems last year in terms of pressure from the outside. Would totally expect them to angle from the outside to try to get to Tap and try to keep him inside the pocket and throw with some pressure. So we've got our hands full. And we've got a lot of change that we've talked about. We have to be better very quickly. And so it's going to be a challenge right up front. But I think we'll handle it and hopefully come out on top by at least a couple touchdowns.